raise our kids, graduate from high school. She did that. She got a job. She did that. She bought a car. She did that. After that, her life was taken away from her. She never had a chance to really live.
I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. And I know that sorry will never be able to bring her back.
It's your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times, and I'm back with another episode of Hood Tales. In this video, let's take it to Akron, Ohio, to tell the story about how a fight at a bar between former high school classmates turned fatal. But before we get into this video, please hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and join the Tony 2 Times family. Tap that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Also, this video is sponsored by me, Mrs. Tony 2 Times, and my YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out and support me. I'll leave the link to it in the description box. And be sure to share this video with everyone you know. Stay tuned until the end to hear all the details. All right, let's get into it. Chyna Mar'Nasia Shepard, just 21 years old, was a daughter, a sister, a friend, and a fierce light in her community. She had the brightest smile in any room. But on a summer night in Akron, Ohio, her life was stolen in an act of violence rooted in jealousy, ego, and impulsive rage. Born on September 16, 2000, Chyna Shepard was raised in Akron, Ohio. She graduated from East High School in 2019 and had been working at Akron General Hospital as a senior tech. Chyna loved music, getting dressed up, and turning up with friends and family. People who knew Chyna said she was patient, loving, and had a gift with children. She was the life of the party, but also a calm in the storm for many. July 29, 2022 was supposed to be a time to celebrate. Chyna had just gotten a new car. She, her close friend Armonte Davis, and another friend Ricky decided to celebrate at Oasis Surf and Turf Bar in Akron's North Hill neighborhood. They ate chicken wings, drank tequila, and danced, a night that began with laughter but ended in tragedy. That night, Chyna crossed paths with someone she hadn't seen in years, 24-year-old Gladys Ingersoll, a fellow East High alum. Gladys had graduated years earlier and had gone on to attend Fortis College, becoming a certified medical assistant. According to witnesses, what started as friendly conversation soon spiraled. They chatted about old times, but tension crept in when a boy they both once knew was mentioned. A boy, a name from the past, and then a fight. Inside the women's restroom, voices were raised. Chyna and Gladys argued over the boy, pulled each other's hair, and tumbled to the ground. Armonte separated them. She tried to get Chyna to leave, but they ended up staying. It's chilling how quickly pride and a bruised ego can escalate into something fatal. This wasn't just a fight. This was a storm brewing. Surveillance footage showed Gladys leaving the bar with a man, only to return minutes later. Chyna had answered a FaceTime call from her sister and headed to the restroom again with Armonte. Gladys was already inside, applying lip gloss. She overheard Chyna talking about the earlier altercation and snapped. She allegedly threatened Chyna, and the two fought again. This time, it was more intense. The women crashed against a toilet, breaking the lid, and then a single fatal sound. Pop, one shot. Chyna clutched her abdomen. "She just shot me," she said, crumpling to the floor. Inside the bar, people ran. Plates of food were left behind. Ricky ran with Chyna slung over his shoulder, put her into the car, laid her head on Armante's lap, and rushed her to the hospital. The bullet had torn through major arteries and Chyna's bladder. The internal bleeding was too severe. Chyna passed away. Gladys fled the scene. A witness followed Gladys to a nearby parking lot and alerted officers of her location. Akron police officers chased her down Howard Street. The officers ordered her to drop her weapon. When she raised her hands, weapon still in one, the officer fired. She was struck in the leg and abdomen and taken to the hospital. Gladys survived the ordeal. After she recovered, she was taken into custody. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation later ruled the officer's use of force justified. Gladys went to trial in January 2025. The trial lasted 1 week. In court, Gladys claimed self-defense. She testified that she was cornered, being hit from behind and scared for her life, that she didn't even look at what she was shooting, that it was instinct. But the prosecution argued otherwise. They painted a picture of a woman who escalated the conflict, returned with a gun, and waited for Chyna to be alone. On January 14th, 2025, the jury found Gladys guilty of slaying Chyna, felonious assault, and obstructing official business with firearm specifications. She was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison, with an additional 3 years for each of the other charges. She will not be eligible for parole until she serves 21 years. Gladys said through tears at her sentencing, she knows that sorry will never bring Chyna back or justify what was done.
Is there anything you want to say?
Yes, there is actually something I want to say. I've been waiting to say it for almost over 2.5 years, and I do understand that all the family is hurt. Y'all all came here today because the love of her, and I respect that, and I just genuinely want to say that I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. And I know that sorry will never be able to bring her back or justify what is done, but I'm genuinely sorry, and I just really hope and pray that you all can find some sort of comfort in the memories of her. That's all, Your Honor.
You know, we raise our kids, graduate from high school, she did that. She got a job, she did that. She bought a car, she did that. After that, her life was taken away from her. She never had a chance to really live. She was a beautiful person all the way around from the heart. She was my first granddaughter, my first grandbaby. You know, as I had Diamond, a mom, it was a beautiful thing to hear Diamond say dad, but it was a much more beautiful thing when Chyna first was able to call me granddad, you know. But it's done, it's over with, and you know, it's all in God's hand right now. And I'll see you, Chyna, when I get there.
May Chyna Shepard continue to rest in peace. May her story be a call for peace, a plea for de-escalation, and a prayer for every young woman caught in the crossfire of petty disagreements and pride. Chyna Shepard's slaying is a brutal reminder of how quickly a spark of anger can ignite into irreversible tragedy. Her laughter, her joy, her light, all taken in an instant. And for what? A memory, a man, a moment, one moment of rage, one finger on a trigger, and a beautiful life gone forever. Gladys's actions were driven by pure ego, jealousy, anger, and unchecked emotions. This wasn't just self-defense. This was premeditated revenge. It was personal, and it was final. Fam, tell me your thoughts on this tragic story in the comments below. All right, fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, consider liking and sharing. Subscribe for more stories like this and for the stories behind the headlines, because behind them all is a family forever changed. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times. Until next time.